Hey Shrikopaths, I want to do a little theory crafting about whom the next limited character will be. And I haven't seen any leaks or anything, so we may actually have some information out there already. But simply based on what I know at the moment, I want to give you my thoughts, not only on who I think is next, but also what kind of kit they may have. I'm Shrike, like, comment, and subscribe for more Black Beacon content. Let's dive in. So a few months ago, we got a preview video showcasing a number of upcoming characters, and they were all very exciting. But as of this moment, most of those have been released already. The only one from that video that hasn't is Armored Lady with Lance. So she's our first possibility, and she's pretty hyped. A lot of people have been saving up since that preview just for her, even skipping all the units in the meantime. So right off the bat, we see that her lance is basically on fire, so I feel like we can safely assume that she'll be a fire element. But now comes the role. Our very first limited character was a fire DPS. We've had no fire since then. But I think we can rule out buffer, since we just got Ariadne. We can rule out healer, because while we absolutely do need a new one of those, a flaming lance doesn't seem very healer-like, though it's possible. And she's all armored up, so I would think shielder, like an upgraded Ninsar, or some kind of off-field sub-DPS. Throws down the lance, it sticks in the ground, emits flames at periodic intervals, or could surround you with flames so that the effect follows you around, like with Ming. There's also the possibility that we'll be getting a Florence rerun very soon, possibly with this next banner. The timing is just about right, but there's no official announcement or anything, and if that's the case, as I always say, they do reruns right before releasing the character that will power creep them. So if we do get a Florence rerun, I wouldn't expect her concurrent banner to also be fire, since nobody would pull on her if her upgraded version is right there next to her. And we seem pretty confident Lance Lady will be fire. So seems to suggest that Florence rerun will be the first banner and Lance Lady will be the second. Again, all speculation, but she isn't the only option for who the next unit could be. She's a very likely candidate, but there are more to consider. If indeed Lance Lady will be the second of the patch, it's possible that this dashing young lad will be the first, Rubicon. We don't even have confirmation yet that he'll be playable, just speculation. And nothing about his kit can even be gleaned from the information we have. But we can still speculate, based on the needs of the game at the present. So far, the gaps in our roster are Dark Healer, Dark Sub-DPS and Dark Debuffer, Fire Sub-DPS and Fire Debuffer, and some water as well in the form of Buffer, Debuffer, and Shielder. Also, an honorary mention, we do have Dark DPS covered with Nana and Arishan, but both are from the original roster and we could certainly use an updated, improved version of them. So a lot in the Dark element we could really use, which is why I think if we get Rubicon as a playable character, he'll be Dark, and possibly a full-on DPS to replace Arishan and Nana, and if not a DPS, then a healer would be interesting. Logos, our light female healer, and Rubicon, a dark male healer. There's a certain symmetry to that. Now, of course, there are other characters that we've seen that it could be, like Yuli's much hotter and far crazier rival Puppeteer, but I don't think that they'd do two Puppeteers so close together. Plus, we haven't gotten any playable evil characters yet. Arishan doesn't count. She's misunderstood. But yeah, those two are who I predict will be the next two units. Lance Lady second in the patch, and one before that, possibly Rubicon, alongside the Florence banner. And I'll say it every time, rerun banners are a scam. The meta moves too quickly in gacha games for the character to still be relevant when their rerun banner comes around. So unless you really, really like her, I'd suggest skipping it if and when it ever comes. But thanks for speculating with me, and with that being said, I'm gonna fly. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.